let us discuss about distribution. So distribution is mainly associated with AVD. So what is this AVD? That is apparent volume distribution. So what is this apparent volume distribution? Is nothing but if there is more amount of plasma, that is the more volume of distribution. In plasma there is if there is more amount of plasma, that is more volume of distribution. So if we try to understand this by a diagram, for example this is a human body. So here we are having atrial circulation on venous side, arterial and venous. So if we take here lungs, for example, intravenously we have given 100 milligrams of drug, that is volumic distribution. So 5 milligrams is remaining drug which is present in the plasma, and about 50 milligrams per milliliter is present in a liver. That is the drug which is highly distributed in liver. So we have given a drug by intravenous, and the drug is present even in the plasma and also even in the liver. But in plasma it is only in 5 milligrams, but in liver it is about 50 milligrams per milliliter. So the drug is highly distributed in the liver. So if we add plasma to the liver to dilute it, that is the plasma concentration equal to the plasma concentration of this 5 milligrams. So the volume of distribution here is equal to how much drug is distributed. So means how to find out that how much drug is distributed in the liver and also in the plasma. So for this we need to find out the formula, and we need to find it out by mathematic means. So first let us understand the definition of AVD. The AVD means nothing but the total plasma which is required to accommodate the administered dose in a whole body at the plasma concentration. Means how much amount of plasma is required to accommodate the administered dose. That is, we have taken some drug dose. So to accommodate it, how much plasma is required in our whole body at the level of this plasma concentration. So here the units we use is mainly liters. So example here we can take chloroquine. Chloroquine is about in 13,000 liters in our body. So that is nothing but it is saying that there is having high amount of distribution in the body. So if for example if the drug is having high volume distribution, then where the drug may be present? The drug is present in organs and tissues, right? So here organs and tissues, the drug is present because of high volume distribution, that is highly distributed. Then if the drug is having low volume distribution, that is very low, so that the drug remains only in the plasma itself, right? So the drug is in the systemic circulation or in the plasma. So if we are having high amount of volume distribution, the drug is distributed all over the body. And if the drug is only with the low volume distribution, then the drug remains only in the plasma and the systemic circulation only. The formula is DMG, that is drug per milligrams. If we given intravenously, then the plasma concentration can be like in cmg or millimeters, like it is measured in that units. So 1 cmg is equal to 1 milliliter, then 1 milligrams is equal to 1 by cm. So the drug which is given intravenously, the formula as we discussed. So 1 milligram is equal to 1 by c of milligrams. So d milligrams is equal to d by c of milligrams. So by this we can derive a formula. When a drug is given, that is AVD, that is apparent volume distribution, is equal to drug by CO. CO is nothing but the plasma concentration. So initial plasma concentration in the case of given intravenous. So if we modify this formula like bring d this side, that is d is equal to AVD into CT. CT, why we put T here instead of O? Because it is O here, initial plasma concentration. Now T is the target. So always the target is constant. So the D is the loading dose. Loading dose is equal to AVD into CT. That is apparent volume distribution into plasma concentration when given in intravenously. So remember that the loading dose depends on the AVD. So this is a question like loading dose depends on what? It depends on AVD, apparent volume distribution. So when drug increases, then the apparent volume distribution increases into CT. Now let us see AVD is equal to D into F by C naught. Here F comes, that is bioavailability if given by oral route. So then D into F this side and AVD into CO that side. Now again CT because target. So D is equal to AVD into CT by F. So this is by other routes, not only oral route. If given intravenous route, then the formula should be this. If by any other route like parenteral or any other route, oral route, intradermal, etc., any other routes, the formula will be D is equal to ABD into CT by F. So these are the important formula to find out some kind of problems. Now let us check out the factors determine VD. So what are the factors which are influencing our volume distribution? Mainly lipid solubility. Lipid solubility is directly proportional to our volume distribution, and next our fat content is also directly proportional to our volume distribution. For example, in case of obese candidates, there will be more amount of distribution of drug, whereas in athletes there is less distribution. And coming to male and female, in female there is more amount of distribution, because female have more amount of fat when compared with male. And next, coming to the plasma protein binding, that is inversely proportional. There is more binding, then there is low distribution, right? When there is high distribution, then low binding. Next, coming to the specific tissue bindings, example you can take digoxin here, which is distributed specifically in the skeletal muscle, which is calculating the loading dose, which is mainly based upon the lean body mass. Next, clinically, if you take drugs which are having high volume distribution are not efficient. Dialysis is not effective in them, because dialysis is not effective even for the plasma protein binding. Whenever there is more amount of plasma protein binding, then also dialysis is not effective. And also in the case of like irreversibly binding to the targets, like irreversible binders, like they are bound very tightly with the protein, then also because they are bind, they can't cross the lumen. As they can't cross the lumen, they can't enter the blood vessels. So the irreversible binders of the targets are also not efficient for dialysis. So examples of which are not effective for dialysis are, like you can remember, like bad doc, like here we have beta blockers, B3D, that is, and A for amphetamine, and D, both D together, digoxin, and also we're having opioids, organophosphates, and also we're having CCB, that is calcium channel blockers. So there are also antidotes present to them. So the antidote for the beta blockers and B3D is Humanazil. For beta blockers it's glucagon antidote, and for B3D it's humazenil, and amphetamine ammonium chloride, and for digoxin there is digiban, and for opioids there is naloxone, and organophosphates there is atropine, and for calcium channel blockers we are having calcium gluconate. So these are all the antidotes for them. Next, coming to the plasma protein binders. So here I am mainly two types, like albumin and alpha-1 acid glycoprotein. So albumin mainly binds with the acidic drugs, and alpha-1 glycoprotein mainly binds the basic drugs. So let us see some examples of this acidic drugs where the albumin binds. So most of the central nervous system drugs are binding to the albumin, like antileptics, antipsychotics, except like our TCA and opioids. So see, TCA and opioids are mainly binding with the alpha-1 acid glycoprotein. Next, antibiotics like sulfonamides, penicillin G, aspirin, warfarin. So all these are also binding to the albumin. So in case of disease like where the albumin content is so much decreasing, like cirrhosis, nephrotic syndrome, or chronic kidney disease, so in these cases, as the albumin is a lot decreased, so there is more risk of toxicity, because here albumin is decreased. These drugs are binding to albumin. So if albumin is decreased, like the drug content is increased in the body lot, like so that the drug becomes toxic, there is lot of risk of toxicity. So to decrease this toxicity, we need to decrease the dose given to the patient, so that in diseases like cirrhosis, nephrotic, chronic disease, kidney, if we want to give this albumin binding drugs, then we need to be careful to give only low dose of these drugs. So next, in case of here we have alpha-1 acid glycoprotein binding drugs. Here we have TCA opioids, and anti-arrhythmetics like beta blockers, amiodarone, and also quinidine. So in diseases like where there is more amount of alpha acidic glycoproteins, like rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, myocardial infarction. So in all these cases, actually there is lot more increase in the alpha-1 acidic glycoprotein. So here the effect is decreased, because they are bound more and they are not entering into the lumen, so that there is no effect. They are like bound to this protein. So here what we need to do in this case of diseases, we need to increase the dose of the medicine so that it can easily absorb. So these are the conditions. Now let us see, like increase in plasma protein bounders present mostly in the systemic circulation. So remember, there is more if there is more plasma protein binding, then more amount of plasma protein binders are present in the systemic circulation. So this is all about pharmacokinetics distribution. Next we'll continue with our next process. So absorption completed, distribution completed. Next we are having metabolism, and after metabolism we are having excretion. So let us continue that.